All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and we are rejoining Heinrich and Shadows of the Past as he is on a journey, a mission to avenge the loss of his wife. Maybe avenge isn't even necessarily the right word at this point. It is more like his eyes have been opened to a dark underworld and he is actually interested in doing some good here and stopping the spread of this dark taint. And so he has just recently fled the capital of Kastra and is headed back to Castra, the small village with a similar but differently spelled name. And as he makes his way back, the village peasants are actually kind of happy to see him. He's a capable warrior, and having his sword arm around is actually reassuring for a village that does not have much in the way of armed and armored knights to protect them.
Well, at the moment, I'm also unarmed and unarmored, if you look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, you also have 59 hit points compared to the 4 that the average peasant
Yeah,
has.
yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like being a gifted athlete amongst, middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely the one they go to if there's an issue.
So I lost everything. And right now, I want to have just a night's sleep in my house. So I just wonder if they already gave it away or they had allowed the kid to stay there. There was a kid.
Yeah, there was.
Hey, Yuri.
He's been making himself at home on the bed with Butthead here.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I mean, I get it.
Hello, Mr. Henry?
Yeah, you remember that this is our house?
Uh, sure.
All right. But in not too long, I'll give it all to you. It's good.
Okay, that sounds
Can
great.
I ask you? Can I ask you to get out of the house 1 second, please, for a few minutes, just so I can have a bit of time alone?
Oh, yeah, sure. Come on, Butthead, let's go get you some water and food. As he's chewing on one of the corners of the bed.
All right. If the door is closed, make sure the door is well closed, Blanc.
Yep.
I'm gonna check under that bucket and see if my stash is already there and safe.
You look for your secret stash, and indeed, everything is still there and safe.
All right. Now I need a new sword. I need everything new. I know my main idea was to try to hire people here, but I need equipment. And I think the best way for me to get equipment is to go talk to my friend Robert in Kiz. Because
Hmm.
now that I arrive here, I remember I'm completely pooped. I have nothing out of equipment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so actually, this is weapons and armor. In weapons, I had no more vampiric blade, but I have a dagger. Still have a dagger, which is whatever I could fetch. I
Right.
have no more longbow. Uh, I'll just put because I'm gonna procure myself all of this anyway. So I'm just gonna The vampiric blade is gone. I have a dagger. Putting a note in my character sheet that says I currently don't have that.
Okay.
And we'll have to rethink all of this anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I remember that we started taking care of the price of gold. And but when I came here, we did not. So I had just like, I don't know, 700 pounds of gold on me without thinking.
Right. Silver though, right?
What I mean is, when I came from Kiz to this little village, I had a lot of gold, but we just didn't care. You know, like D&D is, you don't check the weight of gold
Right.
until you had me check everything out, because I needed to be able to carry that silver, and then the weight of money was a thing. So
Right.
I don't even know if I can go back to Kiz with that kind of money.
Well, I mean, as you touched upon there, it is indeed the overall weight of it which is going to be the difficulty here. You're going to need some manner of transport, beyond just trying to throw it in a bag and carry it, especially since anyone who sees you walking, i.e., like um, assholes who might want your money, um, they'll be like, "Hey, what's in the bag that's so heavy and clinking together like money?"
Yeah, exactly. So right now I had 11 silver on me.
Like this ain't Canada, like you can't just walk around with
Exactly.
$10,000 and everybody's like, "Oh, just let the man have his money."
Oh
Oh,
no, oh no. They would literally come and say, "Do you need help carrying all that money to your bank?" I
right,
mean,
right. To my
yeah,
bank, yeah.
no, they will just genuinely help you. Okay.
Oh, in
Look,
Canada, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
yeah,
in the rest of the world, they'll come and ask you if you need help carrying all that money to their bank. So,
yeah. So um, what I have to do now is wait for a few days, ask every day when the commercial caravan is, take a long rest, and buy the basic things that a caravan would have in terms of weapon and stuff like that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because let's say that when I came to Kiss to Castra, I had, I don't know, it wasn't a chest or something, or it was a caravan and it was secured,
Right,
like with guards.
right.
And now traveling alone back to Kiss with that money is kind of out of the question.
Yeah, well, you definitely don't want to carry it in a chest. I mean, that might as well be a big bag with a dollar sign on it.
Yeah. So what I want to do is wait, do a long rest, if I'm allowed to do that now. Can I?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
To resolve it.
yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so this is solved. I'm gonna go ask every day. I'm gonna make sure that my stash is okay, and I'm gonna make sure that it stays safe by always putting the bucket that is there, putting something in it, and seeing if it has moved the slightest. Because if I open my stash every day, at one point the little boy Yuri will, a boy is curious. He's gonna want to see.
Mm-hmm,
And I don't
mm-hmm.
want that.
I
So
mean, really, you're lucky that he hasn't found it already, just based off of the curiosity of young children, and.
I mean, it was well tinkered into
Of
a
course.
plank, and if he would have opened that, he would have found Earth, like
Right, right.
nothing.
You had put dirt on top of it. I recall. I'm just saying that,
Yeah,
like, it is entirely possible that he could have found it.
yeah. Um, so I'm gonna go ask the peasant when is the next caravan, and I'm gonna ask them if they have an extra bedroll.
And so yeah, one of the peasants. Let's find where you ran off to. Oh, there you are. Okay. So this guy says, "Oh yeah, hey, hello there. My name is Jake, and this is my plot of land right here. What can I do for you?"
Do you know when the caravan passes? When the commercial caravan passes?
I mean, we don't get updated schedule, but last one left just yesterday, so probably tomorrow another one will roll through, coming one
All
way
right.
or the other.
All right. Thank you. Um, I have no tools right now. I have nothing, so I'm just gonna really fuck around until the caravan arrives.
Mm,
Just keep an eye on,
mm-hmm,
Yuri and
mm-hmm,
play with Butthead if he cares. And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so you and Yuri, get busy trying to do what you can for the small plot of land you got here.
yeah,
Uh, you know, growing whatever.
I think he had knowledge of that, right? When he
Yes,
was
yeah,
helping his friends.
yeah. Yuri knows a little bit. I mean, he ain't great or nothing, but he knows a little bit. He's still a kid, so that's the
Yeah,
pro. But he can
but
help you a little. And he
I would
had.
also ask Jake if he could show me the ropes, and then
Sure, yeah. I keep them in back of the house here. I got a couple 50 footers, and I got this here triple thick one for when the wagons get stuck in the mud. So that's pretty much the ropes I got here.
yeah, all right, thank you. I think you didn't understand the expression, or you did, and yeah.
Yeah.
So show me how that works. Gardening, agriculture.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot different from the ropes, of course. Um, I can have you come and do some work around the farm, and you can learn, bit by bit as we go.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So I can be sure to know what to do on my little plot.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably a thing.
It's a good thing to learn.
Yeah.
And I keep an eye out for a caravan.
Okay. So, as you and Yuri begin to work with Jake for the rest of the day, I assume, no time like the present to get started, right?
Yeah,
Um, so as you and Yuri begin to work with Jake there, he's showing you that aside from just the Nevids, you can also grow little snap peas in the same soil, and like it complements each other. I don't know if that's actually true, but like I'll change it to whatever plant actually does complement turnips for, because you know how like
yeah.
every
Rotation of the earth.
exactly. Every plant leaches certain nutrients and replenishes certain nutrients. And so when you grow companion crops, you're helping keep everything
In
balanced.
balance. Yeah,
Yes. So he's just showing you some of that, showing you some of the basics of how you really got to get in there and turn over the soil in order to get the most out of your crops. And so that's just really um, what you guys are doing here for the rest of the day, except for as you're doing it, Butthead comes over and he starts to eat the leaves off of some of Farmer Jake's crops. And so you're going to have to roll an animal handling check in order to try and teach Jake not to do that.
all right.
Yeah, so or Butthead, I mean, not to do that. So, as you're working with Butthead, you show
Well, I
him.
also I also want to teach Yuri to handle Butthead correctly, or else we're gonna eat him for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's exactly what you do there. You are working with Butthead, and then you show Yuri. It's not that you guys are trying to be mean to Butthead. It's simply that he can't kill the crops, and so
Yeah, look, Butthead, these plants, this is your shit. This,
yep,
this is
yep. And so you show him, and you work with him, and he goes over and starts eating it, and Yuri kind of like gets the idea, and so he brings a basket, a bucket, or some form of conveyance over, and he gathers up a lot of those so that he can bring them back for Butthead and like start using them as a treat, so that he wants to eat them.
yeah, cool. That's it. My only objective is to wait for the caravan and see what they have.
Yeah, and so that is what you are doing, and you go to bed that night, and you wake up the next morning to everyone running out of their houses like they're chasing the ice cream man.
Yeah,
The
it's
caravan is
all-
in town, and it's time to get it on.
and it's probably north of town, right? In the
No, no, it's
first.
coming right down the road. It's just really little. What is this? A caravan for ants?
It's a caravans. Is it that? Oh yeah. All right, so you got a caravan there. Now I see it. I'm gonna ask them. Well, I'm gonna wait. I don't know if there's a million people around.
Oh
If there's
yeah, so this is a line of wagons led by a wagon master, and several guards and retinue of men. I'm sorry, are you talking?
nope. I'm waiting for you.
Oh, yeah, no, the caravans are rumbling through. They don't like stop for you in particular or anything. They're just you know
I mean,
cu-
they probably have clients, right? They have a line of people, so I wait or I just go.
so yeah, what happens is everybody's just crowding around.
All right. So I will crowd around and I wait to be served. I'm not gonna
Oh,
bully
that
someone.
oh, that's not the way it works. Everybody's just free for all, like running up to wherever the stuff is that they want and starting to bid on it. It's like the New York Stock Exchange, just buy, sell, buy, sell. Everybody's just yelling.
All right. So good. So I'm going to browse and I'm going to check if there's weapons, armors, and tools.
There are all three.
All right. So Tinker's tools.
There are several sets of Tinker's tools. One of them is a masterwork set that is kept up and away from where everybody can just grab at them, and you know, it doesn't have like a price tag on it or anything.
All right. Hey, what is how much for that Mastercraft tool kit?
Uh, you don't look like you can afford it, he says, judging you by the peasant's rags you've been dressing in lately.
Yeah. So how much? Just give me a price.
I'd want 250 gold.
All right. I've got that. How about that? Do you have a breastplate? Armor.
Well, not this guy.
All right. Well, give me a sec. Keep it reserved. I'll go get the money.
Okay.
And looking for a guy who has the weapons and armor.
Yep.
All right.
As you look around, you see several blacksmiths. Each of them have a different style that they specialize in. One of them makes chain armors, chain mail, chain shirts, chain under bits for like plate mail and everything. You know, like all manner of chain stuff. And then you see a couple of plate experts and even leather workers and all of that.
All right. I'm looking for a breastplate.
So yeah, there's two different plate workers. One of them is very very fancy. Everything looks like something that any of the knights would love to have and wear. And the other one is a little more rustic, for lack of a better word.
All right. So how much for a good quality breastplate? Gonna ask for it.
From the guy with the fancy stuff?
I mean, the one that makes rusted shit. You say rusted like bad quality?
Not rusted, rustic.
Oh, rustic. Okay. Yeah, I would go for the rustic, the standard.
Yeah. And so, although none of this armor is anything that would earn you anything but ridicule from, the fancy pants people that you're used to, it all seems rather functional and
Yeah, it does what it's supposed to do.
yeah. So, he would be willing to sell you a breastplate at the standard rate for a breastplate from the player's handbook.
400. Okay. Cool. If you wait here, I'll come back for that. Anyone has a sword and a longbow and arrows? That's what I'm looking for. Sword,
Although
do you like?
although it is easy to find a sword, um, there are many different levels of swords here on display. There's everything from crude peasant swords that
Yeah,
are little more than reworked pieces of farm equipment. This is not a piece of steel or iron that was forged into a blade and that's all it's ever been in its life. This was, a couple of shovels and a wheelbarrow melted down into some swords. That kind of stuff. And so as you go up the level in quality, then you find your standard long swords, the swords that were made by a blacksmith of passable competence. You
All
know,
right.
they're not fancy, they're not special, but they're not gonna, break on you if you roll a 1 either.
Okay, that's the point. That's the minimum.
Right.
That's what.
But those other swords, just because they might break because they roll a 1, like they also have price points that reflect that, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, sometimes a hella cheap sword is worth the 5% risk.
A simple normal longsword usually is what, 10 gold from the.
Uh, is it only 10 gold?
Not sure. I don't remember.
I thought it was more than that, but
Could be 25.
I could be wrong, and I don't wanna be wrong, so I'm gonna have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Oh, you're already looking it up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking. If you go with standard, I'm looking up for the standard. Sometimes it just don't say the price.
Yeah.
So a long sword is 15 gold.
Oh, you weren't too far off. There you go. All right.
Yeah. That's
Now
15.
they do have some fancy looking long swords the further down you go here. So like, if it's only 15 gold, like maybe a upgraded version isn't, you know, too high of a price point for you to look at.
Yeah, I'll check if they have like a Mastercraft +1.
Yeah, yeah. So you're looking at the different swords, and you know you're gonna have to appraise them,
Yeah,
because just because something is expensive doesn't
doesn't
mean
mean.
right.
Yeah,
You get it. Like there's a whole lot of cars at the $100,000 price point, but only a few of them are, top of the line machines.
yeah. I'll look at what is around 1,000 gold because according to the book and according to the same price list addendum,
Hmm.
a +1 is $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you would know, from the rich circles that you've run in, what the price of a real sword should be. When the fancy knights are all you're not a golf guy, are you?
No,
Okay. But do you know how like golfers are always like talking about all their new clubs that they got and how much money they spent on all these new clubs and how fancy and
yeah,
special they are?
yeah,
What
and the weight distribution and how they hit and everything.
Yeah, yeah, the length that they can hit with, yeah, all of that. And that's all they talk about, right? These rich fucks just sit around like, bragging to each other about how much money they wasted on sticks. Well, that's pretty much the knighthood and royalty of most medieval,
Yeah,
European based cities. Some of them are real fighters, no doubt about it. So,
yeah,
don't mistake that somebody is a knight or of noble birth for the fact that they are just some, pansy candy ass sitting around talking about how fancy their armor and sword is. But there is an awful lot of that.
yeah,
And so that like all of the real swords cost a whole lot of money, but then there's also a whole lot of fugazis, a whole bunch of things that look really pretty, but it ain't worth the steel that it's made out of.
yeah. Um, Now that I think about it, I'm gonna go for a standard 15 gold piece good sword. I'll try it. I'll swing it. Make sure it's not a break on a one thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go basic. I need to save my money, and I don't want to show off too much that I have money. I want to be able
Yeah,
to
you're
say,
already spending 500 plus gold pieces here, so
"Oh, I'm spending a shit low." Yeah.
so
Uh,
yeah.
the fancy toolkit 250, the breastplate 400, the longsword 15, a longbow 50, and then I'm gonna go and take time to craft myself some arrows also.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's what I was getting at. So although you can find these swords, bows are actually not a like super common item. And so mostly what you can find is the shitty French style short
Short.
bow that got their asses kicked at Agincourt.
Okay. So, so I can right now I could buy a shit short bow.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
by shit, I mean standard short bow. But like, let's face it, longbow is the preference ever since Agincourt. You know what was that, 1502 or
There's a
something?
reason.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
ever since the 1500s, like, you know, the longbow has been the standard.
Yeah. So short bow is 25 gold. All right. So at least
I
I'll have,
shouldn't blame the short bow. It was the heavy cavalry and the muddy conditions combined with the lack of longbows to counter the English longbows.
yeah. A shield. Do they have a simple standard shield?
Yes, several of the armorers have various shields.
So I'm going for the most standard shield again.
Yeah, so they come in wood and steel, and the difference is mostly weight based until you know, NPCs start rolling crits and smashing up your shield and shit, you know.
Yeah. So I'll take a typical steel shield, the basic at 10 gold.
Okay, but remember that that's all that extra weight. I'm not trying to discourage you. Steel is definitely the preferred, you know,
Yeah.
substance for making shields out of. You know, if you're gonna block a metal bladed weapon, the standard prevailing thinking on it is that you don't use wood. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is exactly what I'm gonna do.
I just wanted to make it clear that, you know, like, carrying capacity is a bitch when it counts.
Yeah. That's why I take a breastplate. It's 400 gold. It's really expensive, but it weighs less than the other armor for the AC increase it
Oh
gives.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Breastplate is one of the best overall balances between armor and weight.
Yeah. And then
Chain is so heavy.
I'm gonna buy them a bedroll and a backpack because I need a bedroll and a backpack.
All right. So once again, we have 3 tiers of bedrolls here. So the first is your peasant's roll. This is little more than burlap material. You know, it's a oversized potato sack and a smaller potato sack stuffed with you know, some kind of straw or, you know,
All
something that will provide a pillow of sorts.
Is that the typical manual bedroll, from the guide?
No,
Or okay.
that is the half price bedroll that,
I don't.
because you have to understand that the guide is listing stuff for like adventurers. And you know what adventurers have that most peasants don't?
Money.
Money. Yeah, like yeah, peasants don't have a whole lot of money. So, you know, when they need to go shopping, they can't afford to go to you know, all the fancy schmancy stores. They got to go to the mom and pop shops that are selling stuff on the cheap. So, you know, that's the peasant's gear. And then you have the standard adventurer's gear, and that would, you know, be all of your basic bedrolls. not exactly what I would call a modern day sleeping bag, but it does have a stuffed with some kind of,
Yeah,
soft material, whether it be feathers, which
yeah,
is
that's good.
which is unlikely. Typically not feathers. Sometimes it's like seed husks, surprisingly soft.
Yeah,
Or like grasses and things like that. Because you want it to be lightweight and able to be rolled up yet. And they do have a stuffed, mat that you lay on, as well as a blanket to cover up with, and a matching stuffed pillow of sorts, to go along with them. Not all of them have that pillow feature, but some of them have what amounts to like a couch pillow, today, like one of those little crappy pillows.
yeah. Something to put your head.
Yeah, it's just something to raise your neck up a little so you don't wake up going, "Ay, what a, crick in the neck I have."
I think that's pretty much my shopping list. The toolkit,
Oh,
plate,
is that what you're buying? Is the standard bedroll? Because we do have the third tier, of course, which is bedrolls for people who enjoy sleep.
okay. And what does that entail?
Uh, some of these bedrolls have really fancy materials, um, satin and silk cover materials, um, cotton and other
Yeah,
soft stuffing for the
that's too much.
stuffing.
Yeah, that's too much.
You're like, nope, nope,
Yeah,
get
I don't
that.
want. I'm gonna throw it in mud. So no.
Yeah. Well,
I
I mean, they're not white, but they are comfortable as hell.
yeah, but I'm gonna throw it in mud.
Yeah, one of them is even. Are you familiar with like the pup tent? Like the really small one man tent.
Oh yeah, yeah,
One of them is a tent bedroll. It all rolls up, and all you got to do is stick a couple sticks on the end, which it comes with, and it stands up into a whole tent that you just sleep in, and it is the complete bedroll and everything. And then you just tear it down, and you
All
know
right. How much for that?
that one is of standard bedroll is I think 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, the standard is 10.
Yeah, that one is uh damn, I don't know how much a tent is. I'm gonna say
It's almost the same price
a tent
today.
a tent is 10 gold pieces, really? Huh.
A tent in D&D?
Yeah,
Oh, that's what you asked.
yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
No one's ever bought a tent in any of my games now that I think about it. I gotta send more weather effects.
A tent is 2 gold piece, and I'll explain why.
Because it's just a simple piece of canvas being propped up
Yeah,
by, yes.
exactly. But
No,
that's the
yeah,
typical. Yeah,
I understand. Don't worry. Uh,
yeah,
Let this be a warning to any of my players watching this. Be prepared for rain, and a lot of it.
yeah.
You're gonna buy some tents. All right, so
When I when,
this,
when you said special tent bedroll, that's why I said, okay, I want that. You never know what's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah.
If it's a quality tent, 10,
It,
and
it it's not necessary. It's more of a survival type of thing than a comfort type of thing.
yeah,
It's about the convenience of having the two in one. This was a inventive, person who came up with this.
yeah.
But it's not made, to be the expensive fancy schmancy stuff. It's made to be like, hey, are you serious about staying out of the weather, while you're outdoors?
Yeah.
So this is going to be 100 gold pieces.
100 gold pieces. I will buy that.
Sold.
All right, let me make a total. Because now the thing that pisses me off is now this is a caravan. There's all those other people. They're all going to see that I bought all that.
785 gold pieces.
All right, so 250 for the kit.
Yep.
400 for the breastplate.
Yep.
Plus 15, plus 25, plus 10, plus 2.
Oh,
plus
I forgot.
1.
Oh, yeah.
802.
Ooh.
That's what I buy now.
Yeah. So you
say, guys, give me a sec. I'm going to go to my home. I'm going to get that money. I'm going to come back. I go to my home, make sure no one checks.
Yep. You send Yuri out again?
Yeah,
well, he's at the caravan anyway. What am I saying?
Yeah. So I just make sure I go in. I make sure there's no one following me. I close my door. From inside, I check that no one can be looking through anything. I'll go and get 1,000 gold. And that will be in a bag in my pocket.
That's a lot of weight. You should check how much weight that is. I mean, you don't have far to go, so you can be as encumbered as you want to be, but understand that means that you're carrying this huge bag and like literally almost dragging it across the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not dragging it. It's 73 pounds. And so I'm not even...
hey, only 70. But that is still a lot of weight. Like, do you have dogs or anything? You ever lift a 50-pound bag of dog food? It ain't light. Yeah.
Yeah. It is it is something. And now there's a bunch of people who's gonna want to check in my house and shit like that. So I have to be strategic about it.
Right.
But I'm gonna have high quality Tinker's tools now, so I can fuck around with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So I go back to the caravan, and I will take all of this and drop them each their respected gold, which is 802.
Yes, sir.
And I still have 198 on me.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So if you give me a second, I'm going to put so the breastplate is 20 pounds. Now I have to check the weight of all this,
Yeah.
A shield is to be too long. I just have to check through the manual.
Oh, no worries. Hey, this is your game, my friend. If you want to take all the time you want shopping, it's your time. Like we're not dealing with other players here. In a group game, of course, I institute things to speed stuff like this up so that everybody's not just sitting there being like bored as hell while you go shopping. But this is your game. Shop away, my friend.
Thank you. So a long sword is 3 pounds. Then I had a short bow, which is 2 pounds.
And I know some, people who stream and record their games like want to keep the action fast paced for like viewers and all of that, but and this is no offense against any of you viewers out there. I love you all, but this isn't for you per se as much as it is a log of the games. And any enjoyment that you get out of it is just a happy byproduct.
So 20 arrows is 1 pound. Yeah, so arrows, a quiver of arrows. Yeah, a quiver of arrows is 1 pound, and 20 arrows is 1 pound. That's why 20 arrows is 2 pounds at the end. Okay, so I asked them if they have arrows. I'm gonna buy 20 arrows also. What am I talking about? 20 arrows is good. So
Yeah, of course they have arrows.
yeah. So rations and
But once again, arrows do come in a couple of tiers. You have your practice arrows first of all. These are arrows without metal tips. They just have sharpened wooden tips, and they're for practicing with, so that you don't break any of your actual arrows, because um, it would be really stupid to break arrows that you could use for killing stuff practicing.
yeah.
So you got practice arrows that are really cheap. Um, so you might want to buy some of those, just because every so often I'm the kind of jerk who says that when you don't use a weapon that, even though you're proficient with it, in like a year of real time, gaming, the next time you try to use it, you might not be as proficient with it as you thought you were. Yeah.
Cool. I use my bow all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You should be okay.
yeah,
Yeah, but just saying, they're plenty cheap. Instead of being what is it, 1 gold piece? I think it is for 20 arrows.
yeah,
Instead of being 1 gold piece, it's only 1 silver piece. So,
yeah. But
at a
they would break or it'd be trouble.
right, but it's not even for in combat or anything. It's just for having, so that you can say that, yes, of course I practice.
Okay, I'm not buying them.
Okay, that's fine. Just
I'm just thinking I'm not gonna try to train Yuri. I'm not gonna try to do anything fancy. I want 20 arrows. I could take the time to craft them myself
sure,
with scraps.
sure, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Uh,
gonna have the blacksmith if I can get a pouch of scraps, like 10 pounds of scraps that I would just leave in the house. So I can say, strings, wire, leather, yada yada yada.
got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How much is that?
Well, hold on. We're still dealing with the arrows. Then
Oh
we got your standard arrows. All of these have various heads on them for like different types of targets. So some of them have really like broad heads on them for taking down things like deer, or even larger game and all of that. Those would be like your standard arrows, so to
yeah.
speak. And then some of them have these really thin, pointed heads with a little barb coming back on it. And those are fishing heads for shooting into water without disadvantage, as well as hooking the fish that you shot.
Yeah.
Well, they're for fish. That's what most people use them for, but good against any underwater foe. So,
I have not yet faced enough water foes.
sure. No, I understand. Just making sure that
You
I offer them up.
Yeah.
Um, and then there is one other type of head that is available, and that one is the what would the it has serrated edges to leave nasty bleeding wounds.
Bleeding wound arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is like military grade shit.
Um, Basically, yeah. It's the preferred arrow for tracking the biggest of game, like out on the plains. There's like huge herbivores, like elephants and all of that. So you want to hit them with the bleeding arrow, so that a they leave a trail that you can follow, and B, hopefully they've bled out and been weakened by the time you catch
All
up
right.
to them.
Serrated arrows, how much?
Okay, so The fishing arrows are 5 gold pieces for 20,
Uh-huh.
and the serrated arrows are 10 gold pieces for 20.
I'm gonna try to recuperate those, right? Okay, 10 gold pieces. Good. So I've purchased a quiver or 20 arrows of serrated and 20 standard, boring standard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to have the standard too. You don't want to waste a good arrow on everything.
Yeah. But if it's foes, if it's combat, I'll usually go for serrated arrows. Now that you say that,
Typically, yeah. Yeah, typically. But I
yeah,
mean, if it's a combat that doesn't look like it's gonna require that level of, like, maybe you
yeah.
say
And if it's an undead that doesn't bleed, what's the point?
exactly. Just all kinds of reasons why, although it can be assumed that you would typically be going for the serrated arrows, there are definitely times where you're gonna need to say, okay, I'm not gonna use my serrated arrows here.
Yeah. So now that I have both, I have both and in my inventory, so I can decide that I can make a choice,
Yep.
a right choice on the spot. And yeah, so far so good. Um, the scraps, leather, string,
Yes. Yes.
shrapnel.
Yes.
So I can just say we've got scraps to
Yes.
tinker shit with.
So scraps, the leather workers got some scraps, but typically even their scraps are used to make like the ties for things. Like when you need a little leather tie. Yeah, a little piece of scrap is perfect. You just cut it into the exact width that you need it, and there you go. So the leather worker does have some scraps that he's willing to sell you, but not like as many as you would hope. The blacksmith basically doesn't have any metal scraps because if it's metal, it can be melted down. If it can be melted down, it can be remade into the
Yeah,
bars and ingots that he needs to
absolutely.
you know
But the
uh
leather worker would have the equivalent of a leather armor. That's 10 gold piece for the basic leather, and that's the amount, the quantity that I would make in straps and scraps and shit like that. So
Yeah, yeah, so like I said, he will sell you, um, some of the scraps, but it's all like tiny little irregular pieces, like stuff that would be really hard to get like a tie out of. And let's see, the rope makers do have a bunch of like pieces of rope that aren't really good for anything that they'll sell you on the super cheap.
yeah, I mean a good 50 feet hemp rope is 1 gold.
Right.
So
And they got to
so
get
I would
50 feet of contiguous rope to get that.
yeah,
So imagine all the little pieces of like, oh, here's like a foot of rope. What are we going to do with this?
yeah. It's mostly it's tinkering shit. So tying to be
Yeah.
able to sew with and stuff like that.
Yep, 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 yep.
All right, so I'll buy a bit of all of that.
Okay, so the rope they'll sell you in bulk. A 10-pound sack of assorted rope for 1 gold piece.
All right, cool. And that I will just write that I have at home.
Yeah, yeah, don't put that in your inventory for weight. You would not like the weight of that being carried around for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just put small ropes and strings. So
Sounds
we got
great. Yeah, that's
and
basically what it is.
leather worker.
Yeah, the leather worker will sell you, a bunch of scraps. It's about 1 pound worth of leather scraps, for 1 gold piece.
All right. That's just to again to tie stuff with, to make a little bag. shit like that.
No, absolutely. Yeah. With you 100%.
Yeah. So letter scraps. It is there. Cool. I've got this. So it's just to justify that sometimes I say, "Hey, I'll tinker." Okay, what? Well, it's
Sure.
it's plain text. It's just to justify why.
No, I get it. You'll spend 11 plus gold on scraps for being able to say you can tinker, but you won't spend one silver piece for practice arrows. I see. No, it's cool. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't need to practice arrows. I need to build real ones.
I
Okay.
got you. No worries.
Uh,
It is funny though.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Is there a caravan manager or someone that has so I can leave messages? Oh, actually, before I try to recruit my construction crew, like I said, um, I'm gonna pay attention to see if there's anything around that the peasant wants, but they can't afford.
Yeah, I mean all kinds of stuff. There's big cast iron cooking pots that some of the women are looking at that they could use for cooking and cleaning and all kinds of stuff like that. There's several livestock like okay, so I don't know how rural or any of that you've grown up, but like um, you got to have like a base stock of animals
Yeah,
to be able to continuously breed and
yeah,
harvest. You know,
rotation.
yeah, and so even if you have cows or sheep or goats or pigs or chickens or whatever, all of the various animals that would be on this farming village.
Yeah,
You got to constantly get new young ones to like bring in the new next generation that you'll use for like breeding, and then you like have like your biggest best ones that you keep for breeding and you just breed those as much as you can, and then you take all of the ones that you're not going to keep for breeding and use them for all the other stuff that you need them for, and slaughter them before they get older and all that, because it doesn't pay to feed something that isn't producing for you.
yeah, exactly. So how much are those if we want to have new stocks?
Yeah, so I'm not going to break down all of the prices of like all of the different stuff, because like it's just basically they need another new one of everything. Like they need some cows, all of it. They need all of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just gonna say that they need roughly 500 gold pieces in totality worth of equipment, livestock, and all of that, which includes fancy new washing boards for clothes.
500.
Yeah, because like some of the
Okay, okay. I was like looking for the price of a cow, price of a horse, but it's all total. They need about 500.
right, exactly. Like the price of one cow, the price of one horse, the price of so like add all of that up, plus, cast iron cooking pots, washing boards,
Yeah.
cleaning supply, just everything that the village needs comes to 500. You can certainly be like, I'm not spending that on them. And
Oh no, I absolutely want to spend that on them. So I say, hey, give me a sec. Like, give me a list. I take whatever I can to write and write on.
sure.
Whatever pen from the scraps or for the tinkering tools, whatever. I find a way. Oh, and I make a list. Okay, guys, I'm ready to invest in that village, but I'm gonna need your help. If I invest at well, actually, I have like, if I count absolutely everything, I think I have 484 gold. Would that be good enough for you guys?
You're
I mean,
talking you're talking to the caravanners.
I'm talking to the villagers. The villagers.
Oh, the villagers. Oh, okay.
Hey, villagers! Give us.
Oh,
a
yeah. Sure. I mean,
The caravanners are just going to be happy to sell shit. So I'm going to tell the guys, look, I still have a bit of gold. I can come up with 484 gold. I don't have 500. I have 484.
Oh, well, some of us could come up with the spare money for the extra 16. Like, none of us has enough money between us, but like if we all go get all of our money, we might have 16 gold in this village.
But you understand, if I invest in the village and then I'm fucking broke, I will need to talk to you guys, and I'll need your help.
Miss Betty comes up to you and says, "Oh, don't worry, dear. I'll make you Nevid stew all week."
All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna go get what I had kept aside. So I go do the same routine, try to be stealthy, come back.
Yep.
With another 300 because I had still 184 on me. So
yep.
I go take another 300 on me. So I have 484 and a few silver and a few copper pieces.
Okay. And so you are able to purchase every item on the list for the villagers, and now, not only do they have all kinds of new animals to keep everybody fed, but they also have things like a repaired bellows for the forge so that the blacksmith can churn out horseshoes faster so that the horses aren't always going lame, and new washing supplies for the women so that the clothes stay cleaner.
It's a major upgrade. These guys, the way I listen to them, they never would have 400 gold.
Not a chance.
In their lifetime.
Not ever in the history of this village has there been, 400 gold between all of the villagers combined.
All right, so I imagine that they're in a shock or in appreciation or something. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like everybody is so excited about all the stuff and like getting to work with the stuff that like they kind of forgot to thank you, but like.
Of course, I get that. But I will have the face of a guy who felt that he just lost his entire life earnings.
Yeah. And so, the villagers, I'm not saying they're not going to thank you, but right now they're just like.
Yeah, right now they need to manage this. Okay. So while they're going crazy about their shit, I'm gonna go and say I'm gonna go to the caravan master and tell him about another product I have. I said, like, right now, as you've seen, I've spent absolutely everything I had, saved my entire life. And of course, the rags that I'm wearing might show and tell that probably is more than what they would have imagined I had. Especially when he said, I don't think you can afford that tinkering kit. Well, I'll take it.
I'll take that and half of everything else you got here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just gave, I don't know, 1,800 something.
Oh, so, yeah.
So I just dropped him a lot of money. So it's like, that's it. It's all I fucking had. And I'm like, man, anyway, but I might have more money. So basically, actually, now that the villagers are,
Yeah, they're all running off to do their stuff, yeah.
Do I know of any villagers who would be somewhat competent in carpentry?
There are carpenters in this village, yes.
Yeah, so do they have access to go cut the wood and stuff?
They'd be poor carpenters if they could not access lumber in some way, but they are not the lumberers. There are, wood cutters who go and cut the wood.
Yeah, okay. Well, basically, there are carpenters in the village, so I will just talk to them now that I busted all my money into their village. I'm gonna ask them for help for that.
Sure.
So I don't need right now. So I'm gonna thank the caravan keeper and I say, well, if you're in travels, you learn about is when I came here, I asked if there was a smith, and you said no. And now you say that there's a smith to do horseshoes. So I'm wondering what is true, or what is the
The
situation
the
here.
the problem was that I didn't want to lead you on into thinking that there was like a smith who could do anything for you. He
Okay, but there's a guy who repair horseshoes.
there's a guy who is a smith, but his bellows was broken, so he could only barely
Yeah.
like
Okay.
churn out a few things, without his bellows working, because that's the thing that cuts the time of forging down so much.
Yeah.
Is the bellows, because the hard part of forging is getting a fire hot enough to melt steel and iron,
Yeah.
and so a bellows cuts that shit way down. But with his bellows not in good working order and without the money to repair it, all he could do was like not even keep up with the demand for like nails and horseshoes and stuff like that the town needed. So he was doing the best that he could, but like he had absolutely no time to do anything for anybody else. He was just trying to keep the town from falling
Okay.
apart literally.
Yeah. I think I remember something like that. Okay. Um. So I'll tell the caravan guy that, well, for now, I've spent absolutely every single cent I had except a few silver. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna buy you for 1 silver a pack of practice arrows. For real, because I'm gonna probably have someone try and practice with the short bow.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have the practice arrows, but they're gonna be at home. They're not gonna be on me. So I'm gonna give thanks to everyone. And oh yeah, the caravan guy. It's like I've spent everything. Um, in a few weeks, uh, I'm gonna go out to another place. I'm probably gonna bring back another maybe 20 or 50 more gold. And if you could have some crude iron, uh, that would be okay. So our smith here can fabricate more stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And he also does have a bit of iron, because, like I said, he hasn't been able to really work as fast as he could. So like his supplies are not as low as his capacity to produce was impaired.
Okay, cool. So anyway, that's done. That's case solved. I
Yes,
think I'm
sir.
done. Yeah.
Okay. So, over the next, several hours, the village is just absolutely a buzz with activity, and more so than just the activity, with a renewed sense of purpose and talk of the moody but generous stranger who has come to stay in their town and just bought them all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of having money I can't spend when I live in a village who has so much trouble? And now with a functional village, I will be more comfortable to finish my days.
You literally just saved this village from having one of the harshest winters of its existence.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you are like the hero of Castra right now.
All right. That's cool because that's what will allow me to ask them for some help.
And as a result, you have received, as a bonus background, local hero, which
Oh yeah.
which allows you several you know skills, but then also the ability to curry your favor into tangible resources when you are, around.
Yeah, in the background called local hero.
Yes, sir. Or folk hero? It's local hero or folk hero.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, folk hero does that. Yeah, so it gives me a bonus in animal handling and survival. That's what you mean?
Yes, sir.
And then it's social and utility. And oh, it also gives me one type of artisan's tool.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
folk hero is animal handling, survival, one artisan tool, one competence with one with land vehicle, and the yeah, it's a social and utility. So good. I'm gonna become competent as a smith now.
Yeah, yeah, totally. The Smith,
The
um,
hell, of
as
course.
as as you go, to see how his repairs are going, he not only like has you start helping him repair the bellows with the repair kit that you got, but
I participate and I learn.
yep, and he gives you the smithing tools at the end.
Oh, that's so fucking. I have to go into my inventory and put the tools there.
Yes, and I will add your custom skill for it at the bottom of your skills, or you can just throw in smith
Yeah, I
tools
can
if
do
you
it.
want.
I can do it myself. It's easy.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to learn, but I'm so used to like just doing it for all my players, that I just do it.
Now, these tools, I'm gonna keep the minimum on me. So I'm gonna go with 5 pounds intentionally, thinking I'm not gonna carry everything. I'm gonna keep some of these tools on me to do the minimum. But when I do, I'm not gonna grab the entire 10 pounds of smithing tools in adventure.
No, right. You'll probably bring like the hammer and the
I,
pliers.
I'm gonna take the tinkering tools with me, and the smithing tools will stay at home.
Oh, I got you. That's what you meant by half. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I mean. That I think this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Okay. So I've got tinkering tools, basic tinkering tools on me. The smithing tools, I'm super happy that he gave me a gift. I mean, these guys, I can understand if shit happens, there's a guy with money, and I needed this village to be functional and to be grateful, so I can start talking to them and not be just the other weird guy.
Well, they are definitely more of both now.
Okay. Just checking that I'm gonna go and configure my skills and my weapons.
Okay.
How do I add uh, kill? Oh yeah, custom 3. That's gonna be smithing. The stat, is it typically Dex or Intelligence?
Okay, so when it comes to the tools, I basically look at the class that would use them and go, off of that. So like thieves tools, not only, are rogues dex based, but it totally makes sense that those would be a dex based tool.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that every tool is dex based. For example, smithing tools could
it's true.
could easily be strength or con depending on what you're using with them. But because a lot of artificers use them, I also could make an argument for intelligence
Yeah,
because you more than having to have the strength to pound the hammer, more than having to have the endurance to keep doing it and to stand the heat of the fire, you got to know how
exactly.
to pound it into a sword. You can be the strongest, toughest dude in the world, And if nobody ever showed you how to pound an ingot out into a sword, you are going to have a sad looking sword at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess. So I'm going to go with intelligence also.
Yeah.
Because even if you need strength, if you hammer smartly, it will happen over time.
Exactly. You know, it's not that water is strong, it's that it's persistent.
Yeah. Okay. So this is cool. Just have to say that animal handling now I'm proficient, and that survival is proficient per that new background.
Yeah. You like that free
Um,
background.
yeah, it's a free background, which is something that can happen according to the rules. Like you
Of
can
course.
earn a background if you do shit that gives that actually gives you this kind of thing.
This is exactly what, you know, this kind of thing is supposed to do as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
the whole reason to spend all of your money on a village like this is to curry favor.
yeah. To make the people happy is one thing, but it's not non-egocentric to the max. There's reason.
Of course. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, you know, like for somebody to do this, the exact reasons are less important than the fact that like 10 peasants aren't going to starve to death this winter now.
Yeah. That's really the cool thing. Um, I'm gonna tell them. Well, actually, I'm gonna let the peasants finish their complete powwow mind fuck. Their day of setting up. May even give them 2 days. The caravan, I say thank you so much. In a few weeks, I'll have more money, but now I'm broke.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, the
And
caravan moves on.
yeah, and after 2 days, I ask all those that I've recognized with authority. It's a village, and you told me there was a bunch of people. So I want to go see the influential people and gather them together.
You're not going to kill them, are you?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna ask them if they want to strategize some kind of security plan. I'm gonna tell them first that um, eventually I'm gonna find ways to make more money, and I will reinvest in the village the way I just did. The proof that I'm being honest is I freaking did it. So I
Right.
don't.
Well, right. Yeah, no, you just spent more money on them than they've ever had. So, yeah.
Yeah. So
They trust you, you know, at least to some extent at this point.
yeah. I had hidden my money in my roof, and whenever I get more money, I'm gonna hide it again. So I'm gonna count on you if you see anyone fuck around my roof, um, scold them or tell me or something, because I definitely don't want my stash to be discovered if I bring more money. Like it's gonna take a while, but I'll have like another 100 gold, 200 gold eventually. It's gonna happen. And I'm going to invest this in my personal life and also in the village because I want this village to thrive and I wanted to feel safe in my village. So that's the first point I wanted to bring. My roof is a no go for anyone because I tinker stuff and I try to hide it in there. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna go trap the fuck out of my roof. That
Okay.
will just destroy the hands of anyone who puts their hand up there. If I just told it to these guys and it's gonna become a rumor, and actually it's in a hole in the ground under a plank somewhere.
Right.
Um, but I might try to find another place for my stash because I still have more gold. I still have 3,000 something gold now. And another thing is, what do you guys think if we could start planning a palisade? Just a simple wood palisade, not guarded, not anything, just a palisade. I imagine this time you want to upgrade the village and you want to put your energy into the village itself. But as we grow and as we go stronger, the scavengers and the looters might be attracted, to the new cows, and we want to protect them. So we need to think about training the guards.
A good palisade is good against wolves that try to get in at the chickens at night too.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, for everything, for any reason, having a simple wood gate that would keep any hindrances outside with, a guardsman at every gate that opens and closes the doors, uh, this kind of thing. So I don't know how you guys, apparently there's 2,000 people in this village, you said?
About 1,500, but yeah.
1,500, yeah. So I don't want to be the mayor in this place, but I want to be safe and I want to be at peace. And especially if I start bringing in money once in a while to buy even more dogs and cows and horses and stuff like that, bulls. Um, yeah, at one point I will want to feel safe.
No, indeed. And we would all welcome feeling a little safer at night ourselves.
Yeah. So that's the plan. So I'm just letting you know it would be cool if we could invest a bit of energy in there. It would take a while, of course.
Yeah, no, of course.
But yeah, and I have to leave soon. I have to leave for a few days. I'm always going to leave for a few days and come back for a few days. Did any one of you heard about little Yuri and Butthead?
Hmm, the boy who's been staying there? What of
Yeah.
him?
Can anyone take him in?
Oh, we've very little room, but I guess I could use a good apprentice.
Yeah. Well, I would be grateful because I'm not going to be around as often, and he needs if not a parent, he needs a hero or a role model, and I'm not going to be that. And a kid like that cannot live alone, especially not in a house with no one in it. And when I'm away, I would like my house not to be given away to anyone else. I want to keep it when I come here, because you're advised I'll be leaving days or weeks at a time.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to me, and I'm gonna go and sleep again because
Yeah, yeah.
I got to think about my next move.
So, the blacksmith agrees to like take him in as his apprentice, but that means he won't be living in your house.
That's the point.
Oh, okay.
I want to be alone. I don't want to come in and have a sheep and a boy. I don't want that anymore. I'm done. I've done it. I want to be alone.
Yeah. No, totally.
Eventually, I will have. I was thinking about building a lair and everything, but actually, if we want to go even more under the carpet, I'm just going to bring mercenaries who are going to take individual houses for themselves.
Ah.
That it won't be obvious that we have a castle and we're training for combat. If I recruit people for that, it's going to be more undercover.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to come here, ask if a house is free. I'm going to have my own. We're going to take, and eventually we'll have a little sector of the village. And there will be guards and stuff that will hire, but I will try to train them into the art of the blood hunter, basically.
Sure.
Yeah, one thing at a time. And if I can only find level 0 12-year-old boys, I won't hire them.
Well, that's not all you're ever gonna find, but
yeah, it's what I found so far.
It's the most readily available.
Absolutely.
That's like like there most men who already have skill with a sword have either been a squire or a bandit, or like they already have a trade that they're applying,
and they're doing it. Yeah, exactly.
right. So I just want to be clear about that like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to keep you from being able to do it or anything like that. It's simply that 12-year-old boys without a trade are like the plentiful thing to be able to like scoop up off the streets.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy. And
Right.
it's also problematic.
Yeah. All of that stuff too. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like it's just the thing that you'll find more frequently. You don't have
yeah,
to bring home everyone you find.
absolutely. I mean, I've been trying to just be kind and everything, but now it's time to switch my mentality to this village upgraded with a palisade, guards, that they will train themselves. The
Hmm.
the smithy, the smith will have his own thing. I'm gonna go and for maybe 2 days, I'm just gonna put heavy mouse traps in my roof since I said to everyone that I was hiding money in my roof.
Small
And
small bear traps, basically.
not enough that they'll lose their fingers, but enough that it would leave a fucking mark and everyone would know that they put their hands where they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay?
That I didn't mean small bear traps as in like the absolute strength of that, since a lot of their strength is derived from their size.
Yeah.
I meant small bear traps as in, larger than a mouse trap, smaller than a bear trap, but designed more to, inflict the kind of thing like a broken finger or something that would
Yeah.
like.
And I imagine as a tinker and a warrior and a smith, now I get the hang of how to make that.
Sure, yeah, I mean it's like I said, basically just a small bear trap.
Yeah. I will still roll because it's a standard.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
It has
So
no special flaws nor advantages.
exactly. Um, my hole in the ground, my plank in the ground. I want to make an effort to make it a bit bigger, a bit deeper. And if anyone was to find it, they open it and they have the impression that there's an empty box. When you have a secret door and behind the secret door it's empty. Actually, I would leave a bag of 12 golds there, just so they think, he still had 12 gold and I stole it. And they would not go to the second level of layers where there's a thousands.
See, now you're thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly. A
So
thief who comes to steal is likely going to continue to look if he doesn't find anything. But if you
yeah,
give him something of lesser value to you than the real treasure you're trying to hide, perhaps he'll be satisfied and think that was it and move along.
exactly. So I'm going to in my stash. I'm going to 12 gold and uh, let's go with 12 gold and 16 silver piece, uh, just to say, yeah, okay, salt.
Yes,
I'm gonna
indeed. And so
put in
now I just need a real quick bio break, and I will be back in a moment.
Yeah, I will also have bio break. Thank you.
And I am back whenever you are.
I'm back.
Perfect.
I will take on me.
Take me on.
I will take on me 600 gold. The 50 platinum. Okay. Oh, did I adjust my armor class? Because now I have a breastplate again. Well, in my house, I had left a bunch of shit, like my alchemy kit and stuff like that. That was there.
Yes, of course.
Just taking more and more detailed notes of what I do where because I'm gonna start traveling around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, I think I'm going to leave for Kiz.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my rations that were here stashed. I'm gonna take it with me because I still would want to talk. I need to strategize, you know. So I need to talk to allies, and my only ally is in Kiz. It's Robert, the blacksmith.
Roland.
Roland. Oh, now Robert is the doctor.
Dr. Robert.
Okay, so Roland, yeah, Roland's back, blacksmith. Uh, so I would like to go there. Of course, I will go alone, and that means the risks it entails. But I can try to be stealthy.
True.
So I have a breastplate right now. What's my armor class? A breastplate and the shield. Shield I carry is not magical anymore. I have to remake those.
Yes.
So and magic is one. So what I'm holding right now is a normal shield and a normal breastplate. So I'm back with an AC of 18.
Yes.
Okay. Because I will want to have a longbow. So he was in this sector, I believe. Yay! Roland! Knock, knock.
Hey, hello.
Would you remind me how long it takes so I can remove the rations from my inventory?
Yeah, the journey to Kiz would have been about 4 days. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to keep track of this. Hey, Roland!
Absolutely, I do too, but some players like kind of bulk at it, so I try not to harp on it too much so as not to, get anybody all riley.
Yeah, it's a game, so you could, it's always noon. You save at different save points, and you can reload, and it's like a video game.
Yeah.
And you never eat, you never pee because
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah. So, but in this case, just the principle of the ration, keeping track of rations and arrows
I
and stuff.
yeah, I greatly appreciate that. Yeah.
Roland, my man.
Heinrich, old friend, come in.
Good. You remember these vampire heads and everything? Man, I
I
was kidnapped by vampires. I was brought in front of the king in the city of Castra, and they tried to kill me. They put me in jail, tortured, and I escaped. That's fucked up, right?
Holy cow. What? Uh, I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna have to tell
So
me all about it at some point, but for now, let's get the dust and road off of you. Come on upstairs with me. Let's have a drink and a bath, not together. The drink together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah, we'll just do that and chill. We're chilling in this place, and yeah. So we'll give him detailed stories. With him, I'm kind of open. And I tell him, well, that super awesome sword that you gave me, they took it because, of course, it's a vampiric sword. So anyway, they kept it. They took everything.
Oh, those bastards.
Yeah, I mean, we're never gonna see that again. It's now in the secret armory of the king. Pretty sure they have magic people who have identified it and know everything about it. So that was kind of deceiving, disappointment. But I started to install myself in the little village of Castra, the small village just walking distance from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little house there because in here there was just like too much negativity, too much pressure. I tried to buy a house here; it cost too much, so I had to go. But I didn't forget you, so I just wanted to come here and say if I could purchase from you a longbow, and if I brought new, if you want to do another run, if I would bring new magical reagent, I could spend time with you in the forge and hopefully get a sword. Maybe not as important or as flashy as the one you made me, but maybe a sword that would a magical sword of some sort, even if it's not vampiric.
It wouldn't do to have a blacksmith's partner walking around with that piece of crap you've got strapped to your side there.
Yeah, I show him the sword. Like, I bought it on a caravan because I had nothing. So just to cross here, I
He
needed that.
takes it, he takes it and whacks it as hard as he can across the table, and it just bends.
I actually laugh. I'm not sad he broke my sword. I'm just laughing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a jerk about, but like, you're back with your blacksmith friend. He's going to show you how you made the mistake of going to anyone else for a sword.
Yeah, well, I mean, imagine if I tried to cross a country without it.
Oh, no. Yeah,
I'd be dead.
as a DM to player, this is not me talking. This is
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the character. It's Roland. He's proud. He's like, you can't be walking around with this shit.
right,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Yeah.
Like
So
obviously he's going to give you at least a replacement, regular sword for now that won't do that.
yeah,
you know.
that's what I thought. I imagine. Okay, he just broke the sword. This is flavor text. I'm gonna get a new one.
Yeah, yeah. Like that. I'm not in the habit of having your only friend be like, "Oh, what do you got? A sword there? Bat? Now you don't.
Break it.
There you go. Go fight with that, jackass."
Yeah, next time buy a better one. Now get out of my house, and by the way, you owe me a beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he invites you in to come and sit down by the fire and have some ale with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're just chilling here. I tell him in long, details. The name of the knight that I've met, sir, I forgot who, but I tell him because I remember in my character. So, Rolf, the former mayor of Small Town, no. Rolf is dead. Rolf is dead. Passwell the Fingerless is dead, so I can delete these count. Okay, Sir Raj Mandrago, Knight of the Rose, had a very short. I describe everything, and I described to Roland the swords I was bringing back, and I say, Roland, did you ever hear about the Raven Queen? Does it tell you anything?
Oh,
There's so much weapon.
everybody knows about the Raven Queen, a horrid she-devil who guards the plane of souls and hoards the souls of dead men.
Yeah, I had 2 shields and 2 swords and a crown of the Raven Queen. All confiscated. Oh my god, I was going to bring them to you, have you melt them and rebuild something. It was all black steel. It was very impressive.
Oh,
So,
black steel. That's some rare stuff.
yeah, it would have been fun. So my next project is to go back to that cave where I found the crystals and come back with you and try to make the shield that I have here, or if you have a better thing, to make it a +1. Just a reinforced, to make it like with the +1 magical coating from that crab dust. I just want to redo that because it's going to be good. And then, I'm trying to get ideas how to get some allies, but it's possible that what I'll have to do is I will have to go out in the northwest. I forgot the name of the country, but it's a country with a lot of priests, you told me.
The Kingdom of Britonia.
Yeah, to go to Britonia, tell them that I've got information to, try to get them as allies to bring down the monarchy, the current system that dominates on Carpathia, because this is shit. This is really hell. It's not
because
going well.
this area is ripe for regime change.
Yeah, especially when they have their own version of Trump here, and I mean it's time for people to. I don't want to bitch Trump voters. I'm just Canadian, and like the entire planet laughs at Trump. Except the people in the U.S.
Hey, I don't care. I don't talk politics with my players because, everybody's entitled to their opinions on politics and all of that. But, as far as, the recording of the games and, anybody who cares, you are entitled to whatever opinion you want to have about politics and, all that.
I don't do politics. I just wanted to make a funny reference because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I said Trump to an American and it might have been offensive. So I'm sorry.
Not to me at all. And, Once again, to reiterate to anybody who is offended out there, guess what? You have your opinion. My player has his. And neither of your opinions needs to affect the other one whatsoever.
Exactly. And because I'm not American, I don't even have the rights to a serious opinion about it. I should have opinions about my own prime minister. In any case,
I hate to talk politics, but I am going to have to say that the idea of if you don't vote, you don't have the right to an opinion, or if you're not from this country, you don't have the right to an opinion, is sort of like a flawed notion, because anything that could affect you or people you care about, or just having enough empathy to care about people in general, you can have an opinion on those things. Adolf Hitler didn't affect me in any way. I didn't know the guy and all of that, but I still have empathy for the people that were affected and therefore consider him to be a pretty bad dude.
All right. Noted. I'm also not voting for Hitler, by the way.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that was the other option in this election, I think it'd be a pretty tough call to make.
All right. So,
I mean, listen, I don't want to derail this anymore, but just think about that for a second and the actual decision to be made there.
Yeah. I'm happy I'm not American. So, I'm going to finish my evening with Roland. and I'm gonna go see again that cavern.
Wait. Finish your evening with Roland as in drink your ale, talk, and get out, or finish your evening with Roland as in have a sleepover?
I'm gonna bug him for a piece of floor so I can just unroll my bedroll.
At which he gladly offers to let you sleep outside the bedroom here. Throw up your bedroll and hit
Yeah,
some Z's.
because I did pay a rent here at one point, but I don't think they would appreciate it. The guy that disappeared just came back. It's like, just yeah, I'm just gonna crash here.
Yeah, no, that's the more logical approach to the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. I was thinking about also just cutting the head of McGulch and McGunderson, just killing them outright and take the piece of land that I want here. But yeah, it would be bloody, and And I say this sarcastically and take a big long gulch of ale, laughing. As just mentioned, I didn't like these guys like at all, money munchers. Yeah,
Ah, that McGulch is a rather unsavory fella, I'll give you that, but he owns half the properties here, and without him, the town would go under.
yeah. Sometimes it takes an asshole to hold the reins, if you want. All right,
That's
I'm
right.
done.
That's right.
I
Because
personally am done
the
for.
nicer you are, the less people tend to respect you.
Yeah, well, I like to be nice and kind, even though if I have to be violent sometimes. I'm gonna finish my L and be done because I want the game to move on to I try to rebuild my equipment and see the difficulties I'll have to face because every time I go to that cave, some shit happens, people die and stuff. So I
Yeah.
need to
Well,
be.
he actually still has some of that powder left, so you don't actually have to go to the cave
Oh,
right now.
cool. So could we coat my? It would take a week, but we could coat my shield. I could do it. And I tried to learn
No,
within.
absolutely. He's all down for getting back to work with you here.
All right, cool. Because even though I have a place in the little village of Castra, I still want to work with you here and do business and whatever I can. Um, yeah, I'm gonna try to do that coating with him this week. So I have to go into my crafting, and this time I'm gonna roll smithing because I'm now a competent smith. Oh my god, 6. It's okay. Does the DM approve that this process worked and took a week?
Yes, of course. The 6 indicates that it is neither special nor flawed, and it is +1 shield.
Yeah, that was the point. Good. So at least I'm back to being hard to hit. An AC of 19 when I sword fight with a vampire. Anything below that was terrible. I just had a few exchanges at AC 14 with the vampire last week during in the night, and my health was going down because there's a major difference between 14 and 19. This is
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, it is.
25%.
Yeah, uh, if he didn't roll bad, is plus whatever just hit. So yeah, that's really for survival. That's really important. All right. Hey, I'm gonna.
Also, in your spare time when not working on the shield, you guys were able to construct another week's worth of materials to split the profit on.
Cool. and I just need to know what it entails. Like, oh, because I'm there and I can make his stuff magical.
Yes, so
That's the
you
big
need to
thing.
make a blacksmithing check.
So just one general to say this is how the week went.
Correct.
Yeah, 12.
All right, so you make
I
half
remember that
of
I had left him a ton of fangs and
yeah,
bones and shit.
half of 12 is 6 is the profit, and then half of that would be 3. You make 3,000 gold pieces worth of profit off of the materials that you made.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna come and spend a week here once in a while. Um, cool. This now that I'm gonna finish my phrase. I'm gonna switch it to platinum now that I care about the weight of things. So 300 platinums instead of 3,000 gold, or else I'm gonna crumble under the weight of my riches.
You just put it all in a big vault so you can dive into it.
Yeah, actually, silver and copper to make more, like 30,000, 32,000 copper pieces and 2,400 silver. Yeah. Uh, okay, now that I've all this is covered, I need to set up for an expedition. But you know that there's mercenary boards for people who hire. You know, there's a place where people post things for jobs.
Yes.
The same place that I would go the first game to earn
Yes.
my first 100 gold.
Yes, yes.
I want to post a job.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pay a few hundred gold. It's gonna it's not gonna be shit. It's gonna be good. I want to hire a competent mercenary. I want to hire a merc, specifically a ranger. Oh, I want to also know if Roland can make me a bow, or if I could just buy a normal bow from him.
Yeah, yeah.
50 gold.
You can take that out of your end of the profits and just take a bow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to
So
take.
it's half price.
Oh, it's half price. Oh,
Right,
that's good.
because he's not charging you the markup on it, so you just take it, you know, it out of your profits. So
Oh, okay, cool. This is nice.
the other reason why you should always shop with Roland.
Yeah. Well, at this point, yeah. The the short bow, I'm gonna have it stashed on me anyway, because I will. I would give it to someone. Actually, you know what? The short bow, I'm just gonna give it to him. Just say, this is some of the scraps. You want to rebuild something with it, or just sell it? It's a short bow. It's a okay short bow.
I would never sell anything of that quality.
Cool. Then we don't need it. So I'm just gonna leave it be.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
whatever ends up happening with it, but he's not going to sell it.
yeah, he's gonna use it for parts or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Now I have a longbow. So I'm back with my traditional. In my weapons, the vampiric blade is just going to be a long sword. Right now, it's a long sword um, built for finesse, non-magical. There's no magic in it. And a longsword built for finesse does not exist, so it was a rapier.
Correctamundo.
And I just need to check. details of the rapier. All right. So I'm supposed to do 1d8 plus 5 with this rapier, plus 2 damage for dueling. So I don't know if you want to check this out, but the thing called Vampiric Blade, just rename it Rapier. And I believe the math is good. And there was, the plus 2 for the dueling will be always in there. I don't know if you want to check the macros. The longbow is what it was. Oh, something happened.
All right, everything is fixed.
Right, so I attack Roland with a. I have to test it.
Uh-oh. Gotta put brackets around that.
You see, that's why you test it.
All better.
All right. Sorry, Roland, I have to test my macro again. And the extra damage is the right. Yeah. Good. This is good. Perfect. I'm going to bring my ammo back. I had, now the ammo says 40, but it was 20 of each. So whenever I get to 19, I'll,
Yes.
I probably always have a few of each, and I'll try to track as best I can.
Yes.
Because we don't want to go crazy, but we wanted to make it happen correctly. Good. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. It was a great few days with you. Now I have to set off northwest in Britannia. Oh, before that, I want to hire a merc, a ranger that is competent. You know anyone?
You'd best look in Eglia for something like that.
Eglia.
Yeah, on the way through, you'll find a man somewhere along the way through Eglia, competent in, traveling through the woods. Here in Carpathia, we have a lot of mountain guides, but not a lot of woodsmen.
Yeah. So, okay, Eglia, I will have better chances. I wanted to have a guy that travels with me while I leave here because I might get attacked, But it's true. I mean, if I want to have a ranger that knows his ways around the wilderness, I need to be able to,
Well, you can always hire a couple of sellsword mercenary guards.
Yeah, one ranger will be good, but yeah, sellswords for guards to
at least for now.
Yeah, just for now, and say it's until I get to this city of Elga. You say?
Eglia. It's the country in between Bretonnia and Carpathia.
Okay, Eglia is another country. I will imagine we're out of crystals.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just removing it from our list. And that's it. Next day, I purchase a few rations more, and it's time to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So main square, sell swords. Who would come with me? I would hire one sell sword to say that I have a guard just until I reach that place. Because I don't want to hire like 25 people.
Right, right. So I assume then, rather than, hiring a group and taking just about anyone, that you're going to be a little more selective and look for someone who looks competent.
Yeah, and that will cost more.
Yeah,
Because there was a time I had no money, but now I do have money on me, so I
right,
can do
right.
that.
So once again, you're going to find tiers of guards here. There's the peasant tier, which is literally just like a peasant. It's a dude, he has a weapon, and he will attempt to fight to the best of his limited capability to defend you.
Okay.
He is likely to run or die after taking a single hit, though.
Yeah, we don't want this guy.
I mean, I'm just being real with you,
Yeah, you have to tell me, and
Right,
I have to answer to that.
right.
Next,
So
I'm hiring now. I'm sitting at a tavern somewhere,
yeah,
and I'm hiring.
yeah. So the next level of mercenary guards that come through would be your standard, hireling guards. These guys are guards. They have 11 hit points and a reach weapon, as well as decent armor,
Yeah.
and will fight to the best of their ability to defend you, and are unlikely to run from a minor
Okay.
threat, but will definitely vary in their morale and loyalty against larger threats.
Yeah.
And then finally, you have the last tier, which actually has many gradients of levels to it, which is your elite warrior, high level guard um, tier, and these warriors come in a variety of classes, from your knights, veterans, local champions, um, all manner of higher level NPCs.
Yeah.
They are tough, durable, have strong attacks, and very good armor class. They are very unlikely to die from a single attack, and their loyalty is directly commensurate with their exorbitant price range.
Yeah. That's what I expected. Let's see if it ruins me to hire a guard for a month.
Yeah. So the peasant guards are on the ultra cheap. You can get one of them for about a silver piece a day, or 3 gold pieces a month.
All right.
The standard guards are, not cheap, but nor are they unruly expensive either. They are 1 gold piece a day, 30 gold pieces a month. It's steep for anyone on a budget, but for anybody with enough money, you could get a whole host of these guards to,
Yeah.
stand watch over your goods or life or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Again, they're not the toughest SOBs you've ever come across. So, how far you trust them to guard everything is obviously dependent on the level of threat to yourself or your goods. But it's at least something.
Yeah.
And then finally, the elite guards vary greatly in price, but start off at around 5 gold pieces a day for the lowest level of the high level, and quickly increase to upwards of 10, 20, and even 50 gold pieces a day. Or 1,500 a month for some of the higher level ones.
Yeah. So 10 gold piece a day would be 300 gold for a month.
Yes.
That's a guy like that I want.
Okay.
Not a 5 a day, but a 10 a day.
Yep. Gotcha.
And yeah, he has to be ready to face and fight.
As you would expect from somebody, relieving you of 5 gold pieces a day, he is very willing to fight for you.
Yeah. I'm taking a 10 gold piece a day kind of guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10 gold pieces. Yeah. My bad. Either way, 5, 10, shit. He better carry your stuff too. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
I mean, why not?
Well, because you need his sword hand free.
Yeah, exactly.
that would be why. So yeah. So there you go, one veteran.
All right. Veteran, Mr. Veteran. So I'll have his name one day. Right now, he's Mr. Veteran.
Yeah. It's not important what his name is today. What's important for today is that he can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, so the first one he rolled a 5, but I get
the point.
Yeah, you get the point. It's good.
If you take a minute, which is 10 rounds, just watch him for 1 minute, and in 10 rounds, it's 10 times that it will swing, and it will show his quality.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you are judging his combat capabilities, you can tell that, he deals a decent amount of damage, not too great of an amount of damage. He's not what I would consider a heavy hitter. But he has a good enough attack at +5 to actually hit something,
Exactly.
And he's got 58 hit points and a 17 armor class. So,
all right.
That's
at this price, I expect that he'll purchase his own rations.
Oh, yeah. No worries about that, boss. I take care of myself, I sharpen my own sword, I polish my own armor, I even wipe my own ass.
That's cool. We'll take rounds when it's time to sleep, but we'll make sure to have both a sufficient long rest every night.
Say, for an extra silver piece a day, you wouldn't mind if my kid brother came along, would you?
For a silver a day?
For a silver a day.
If he dies, it's on you. You know that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to teach him up and get him to stop being, such a shield maiden.
Yeah, all right. So kid brother, all right?
So a young man, he is actually a guard in stats, but he is very young, and I don't know. You ever watch The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford?
Nope.
Oh my God, it's a great movie. Watch it. But anyway, let me see if I can think of another example that you might have seen. It's just that trope of like the one popular brother friend and the one nerdy geeky friend brother.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. Okay. So he wants his brother to gain experience.
Yeah.
And he's asking for 1 silver a day to have an extra guy.
Yeah, well, because he's gotta like be like, hey, this guy wants to hire you, and like fill him with confidence. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be like, hey, I convinced this guy that if he wants to hire me, that he's got to let you tag along too.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. Cool. So tomorrow morning we leave for Britannia, but we'll have to stop in Eglia to hire someone else, someone who can manage in the forest, because we're going to encounter all sorts of shit in our travels. Yeah, with the money I have on me, I can pay them for a few months. So that'll be good
Yeah.
if I don't spend it. All right. The next day we
Or
leave.
get robbed. Of course, that would kind of mean that why should you pay guards if you got robbed? You know, they come to you like, hey, it's payday. Be like, yes, but remember we were accosted and robbed by bandits on the road a few days back.
Yeah, and if the bandit succeeds, it's on you.
Yeah, so I can't pay you with money because I hired some guards to guard my money and they didn't do such a good job.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Um, I just wonder if it would make sense to hire a guard to go guard my house in Little Castra. But I'm gonna be leaving for a fucking while now. Anyway,
well, maybe that's something the kid brother could do, after this. But yeah, I mean, you'd have to, ride back, you
yeah,
know.
would have right now if I hire another person and say, hey, here's 2 months in advance. Your job is to guard that house. No one touches it.
But like you're riding back 3-4 days back
Yeah,
the opposite direction of where you're
it's a
going.
long, yeah. I made a deal with the guy of the village that for as long as I was away, they would, keep the house, think about a palisade. I made a false trap. I made a real trap. I put a deception trap with a handful of gold. So if I come back and the stash is still there, but my gold is gone, someone will be super proud that he stole something, and I'm just gonna count on it. But I usually
Well,
make sure
and you
everyone.
might be able to do an investigation and turn up some rumors on anybody already. I'm sorry, I read something right as I said that, and the brain said out
Yeah,
loud what I was reading.
you,
Uh, uh,
who suddenly has a
who
new pink scarf?
exactly? Who's been a little richer than before lately?
Yeah. But this village when I came, they had a zombie plague, and a bad winter was coming, and now there's no more zombie plague, and the winter's gonna be cool. So
Yes, the winter will be cold.
yeah, but unless yeah, we are ready to leave for the next day.
I mean, not Canada cold or nothing, but
No, Canada cold is insane. Usually, when it's not the COVID apocalypse, I travel during
yeah.
the winter. Well, I'll travel all year long for work, but in the winter, half of my winter is below the central line.
Oh, nice.
Canary Islands and the south of Spain and stuff like that.
Ooh, real
So
nice. Down
yeah,
by
this winter that I can't travel. I mean, there's no point because it wouldn't be affordable for me to travel because
down
I
by
can't I
down
can't invite 200 people in a room and talk.
yeah.
There's no, it makes no sense.
Down by Gibraltar there or what?
Canary Islands is close to Africa. It belongs to Spain, but it's close to Africa.
No, no, the south of Spain. Like where in the south of Spain?
Alicante, Elche, and places like that.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I'm an American,
Yeah, it
so
works, but
I confidently declare my country is the best in the world without having ever stepped foot out of it. So,
well, in the south of America, it's hot enough in the winter. we don't suffer,
Yeah, no, but I mean, compared to their summers, they do.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, because it's all relative.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
like even in Winnipeg, they hate the winters more than the rest. Yeah.
I know. So back to the game.
See, I know a little bit about other countries, just a little though,
I guess. Yeah.
not too much. I'm still an American. What I know about other countries is what you guys are taught by like the end of middle school.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of Americans, and I think a lot of Americans are still open to the world. It's a cliche that you're not, because
Open to the world is like a state of mind. Learned about the world is another factor entirely.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like there's a lot of Americans with a lot of silly notions about what goes on outside this country.
there are those, I imagine. But my American friends are, you know, not necessarily super educated, but they're learned. Anyway, okay,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
said,
Back,
back to
back, back to
the
the game. Fuck the real world. The real world sucks. The game world sucks slightly less.
game. At least it's entertaining, and if I die in the false world, I just re-roll a character.
That's right.
All right, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Eglia.
And hopefully it's not going to be so terrible to, you see, having money means being able to hire someone who can handle himself, because going into a cave with a level 0 peasant, it's like, what?
Oh, I
I tried.
agree.
I mean, it would have been fun.
Oh yeah, no, and like it's a little bit of both worlds here. Like on the one hand, you did just like take a peasant and go into the cave. On the other hand, I wasn't giving you a whole lot of options, so like you
Yeah,
tried to do what the DM was giving you for options, and
and it's also how a game starts. Is
yes,
this enough?
exactly. If I start off giving you everything you ask for, then where was the game?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just one of those things where it's like if you play Candyland and the first card you draw says go directly to Candyland, well, good game, I guess.
Yeah, you did exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
this is the map that you have shown me before.
yes,
I've never seen that.
yes, and I am going to walk you through everything real quick and show you your path and everything. But
Okay.
first, I have to get the right map. This one doesn't have the northern continent on it, so I better.
That's what I say is I've never seen this. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You might want to take a look at the actual map. So let me let me go ahead and pull that up for you. It happens. Hey, sometimes you pull the players onto the wrong map. Hey, forget about it.
it happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So that's why I said I've never seen this.
yeah,
Yeah, because I've seen the other map 2, 3 times.
yeah. Of course. And if you watch my world video, you get a pretty good overview of it. So
Yeah. So now the north. Now this is what I'm used to.
yeah, yeah. This is probably a little closer to something you've seen before.
This
So
is exactly what. So this little village here of Little Castra is where it was. This is Kiz.
oh, 1 second. My map is still loading. Apparently, my
Oh, okay.
computer's video card or something is a little more out of date than everybody else's. So no worries. I'm going to be getting a new computer like pretty quickly here, but for right now, it just takes me a second to load. It's not like the game doesn't load or runs totally slow or something. It just takes it a minute when I'm loading a really big map like this.
Yeah,
This is a pretty big map. It's
it is
not.
huge because you got the stuff, the continent, and then you got the archipelagos, the
Yeah,
sea.
Yeah, exactly. So, with everything on this map, I forgive it for taking a second to load. And son of a motherfucker.
Son
The
of a mother. And sometimes you have to reboot roll
Yeah,
20.
yeah. So I'm gonna see if reopening the page will go ahead and fix that problem. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to refresh Roll20. It loaded up real nice, and then as soon as I moved your token, it was like, nope. How dare you move that token? Okay, yeah. Refreshing. Might take a second. Apologies. You should have seen all of this before, though. Like
I
roll.
I have seen this before many times.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like.
YouTube video. I've made my decisions where I would go using this map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool. As soon as I'm logged in, you can go ahead and do the little, trick where you show me your path.
yeah. Waiting confirmation.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I got it all loaded and then it fucking crashed on me. Zooming out so that I can see a little more. Gotta see more butts. Yes, so indeed that is Kiz.
Yeah,
Castra is the little village right next to
yeah,
it there. I
yeah. So
think. Or this one is Castra. I forget which one.
well, I had picked up this one.
Okay. And then of course Castra is way over here.
Yeah, and this is where shit happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not going there anymore. I'm going away. So I'm gonna take a color that actually shows better. I'm gonna take orange. Does that show? Yeah.
Yeah, show's fine.
Okay. So I wanna. I think I would be have problem if I entered Caledonia, and my friend told me that Iglia is the place to go. So I'm gonna avoid an extra country. And okay, now I want to zoom in because I want to try to take some roads, but
Yeah.
there's be no roads. So
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing about this world is that there's one big main. Oh, those black lines are not roads. Hold on a second. Uh, uh, there's one big main road. That's that blue
yeah, yeah, yeah.
line. That is the old King's Highway, and it is actually paved and pretty well traveled and patrolled. That's the only like real road in this world. Then you also have a whole bunch of these white dotted lines.
Yeah.
Those are like the next best thing to the roads. They're better than like just a simple like trail through the woods. They're actually like patrolled and have, generally speaking, wagon tracks from like, people walking on them. Like the path is clearly tramped down. and along the sides there's grass, but then the road itself you can see where you're meant to walk on because it's been tramped down, and usually grass doesn't grow there from everybody walking on it, and wagon tracks can be seen making impressions in the dirt and all of that. So don't mistake them for like roads, because roads are a very modern concept, really. I mean,
Absolutely.
there was like roads to an extent, going all the way back to Roman days, but these were like infrastructure owned by the state, and were used for like military purposes only, and would quickly fall into disrepair during troubled times and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
the concept of always having a road that could get you to somewhere is actually a pretty modern thing. And so
This
most.
being said,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's why I want to have a guy that knows the woods.
Yeah, of course.
To go to Eglia, but the thing is, my first idea, now that I see the map, and you say that those who have priests are Bretonia, but don't the Caledonian Empire, don't they have priests?
Yes, but I assume you want real priests, right? Like the kind that can cast resurrect.
The kind that can cast turn undead, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's two plans. One of the plans is, it doesn't matter if there's priests or not. One of the plans is getting the closest country. So right now, Bretonia is far from Carpathia. Okay.
Really, really far.
Yeah.
Here. Let me help you out with the distance on this, because that's obviously not right. You're like, shit, I can make it there in one turn. I just got a dash.
Just gonna dash through that country 6 seconds.
Alrighty, go ahead and measure now.
Yeah, it's crashed.
Oh, no, it's not crashed. Just give it a second. Should be good.
Yeah, I'm reloading Roll20.
Oh, you just reloaded right. Okay, no problem.
But for me, it's gonna be like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Quick internet, good computer.
Yeah, that's because Trudeau isn't slowly bleeding your country dry.
If you want, or because I worked like a horse for about 2 decades.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. I wasn't gonna pull work ethic into this, but
all right, so Carpathia 700. Okay, we get it. So it's a lot of miles. So here's the thing: those who have an interest in killing the current royalty is the Caledonians and New Eglia.
yes.
These are the people who would want inside information about politics. Okay.
Okay.
So if I want to help them understand who does what, these are the people, the direct enemy of Carpathia.
Right.
If I want priests who understand what an undead is, I need to go to Bretonia.
Right.
So it's multiple things. So it's gonna be a freaking trip. Just okay. The reason why I wanted to go to Eglia is because my friend Roland told me I have to go there. But that's
well, because you asked about hiring a ranger.
Yeah, I want to hire.
Technically, you could hire a ranger like along these border towns too.
Yeah. So my plan was, I'm just gonna go here and see if I can meet any politician who wants to have insider information about all of that. So I wanted to hire a ranger like here, here. I want to hire a ranger next door, and I wanted to have these two guards follow me just long enough so I can get a ranger and probably continue for a while. I'm gonna get also a
Yeah.
ranger.
Yeah, and just for the record, each one of these squares is about 1 day's travel.
The squares, okay, yeah. The squares. I go like this. Yeah, that's a day's travel if we're in a hurry and if we have good pace.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the point.
It's
That was
almost as if this map was sized by somebody who thought ahead.
almost right.
Almost.
I like the keyword almost.
Yeah,
So
well, you got to preface stuff for accuracy.
Yeah. So when you say, "Oh, so what you want us to go to Eglia?" That's just Roman, but hey, that's already doing half of my entire trip
Yeah.
to see the people in Britonia. I want to hire a ranger fucking now, as soon as possible,
Right.
so he will be able to guide us warriors through the trip. So
I hear you 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the closest possible village that could have a ranger, if you want, and I'm going to go there and see if it's a problem to cross the country. I mean, these borders here are psychological. I mean, they don't have the means to put an actual wall.
Well, they're working on building one, and Carpathia is going to pay for it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I knew I said that, and I knew the reference was so open that you were going to
it's low-hanging fruit, man. Anyway, as a bit of FYI info for you regarding the world and everything, just to make sure that you understand the way that this works. The 100 miles between you and that village is not completely empty and devoid of life. There's little hamlets, unincorporated burgs, like 100 people here, 50 people there.
Will I find a competent ranger? The answer is probably no.
Probably no.
Yeah.
Not definitely no. And sometimes those little areas are exactly where you find the most competent, especially when you're looking for things like rangers.
Yeah.
Because what do rangers do? They range, and it's hard to range in the city. Yeah. You knew where I was going with that. We're always finishing each other's sentences.
So that's what I do. Let's go from hamlet to hamlet, but that will take time.
Of course. I just wanted to make it clear that it wasn't like you had to travel 100 miles 4 days before you were anywhere with other people.
Yeah. So I have a guard, serious tank if we encounter
2 guards.
Hefty shit. We want to have a ranger so we can orient ourselves, see tracks and stuff like that. And he will be in the back and he will shoot with a bow. And I'll be, the undead expert because that's what I'm supposed to be. And from there,
you're also the patron, leader, so you're the supervisor.
Yeah. And I have a plan. And of course I have to pay for that. I needed money. Now I have some. So I have a plan. And the plan is get the help of, one guy and his shield will not overthrow a country. But
apparently you never met Steve Rogers.
No, I have not.
Captain America?
Captain America, oh yeah, okay.
One guy in a shield overthrowing a country?
Yeah. So my idea is the Caledonians and New Eglia, give them enough information to cause the turmoil, while I will advance on building my undead killers. I will have them busy with politics and possible warfare to weaken the family So, this is like a long-term
Oh,
thing. And
absolutely. Yeah, they didn't rise to power overnight. They're probably not going to be toppled that quickly
yeah,
either.
and I can't just walk in and start killing people, but I want to weaken them, and to weaken them is to find a way to do some spycraft, hire people, and for that I need to make money. But if I make too much money, I'll be known. I'll attract attention. That's why it's Roland making money
Well,
right now.
and he's already drawing a lot of attention and told you in confidentiality before you left that he's considering moving to a larger building in the richer part of the town.
Yeah, and if he does that, I might not be able to meet him. I need to stay incognito. So I will recommend that he keeps his small forge.
But I'm going to need to expand soon. The
Yeah, I mean,
inventory's flying off the shelves even when I don't have the upgraded. Sorry to jump back into this, but I can't even keep the regular inventory on the shelves because ever since people found out I could make the good shit, they've been coming and buying me out of everything.
Okay, well, check this out. If you have the means, go and open shop in the nice sector. And at the same time, keep that little humble forge so that when we work together, I don't want to be walking around the center of town.
I'm gonna need me like a shop manager and a couple of salesmen and porters and
You're all excited about this, right?
yeah no he's talking to his partner after a long time of not being able to
Well, Roland, if when I work with you, we have to be in this small space incognito because I can't attract attention to me. So
right. Well, I mean, that's all good and fine, but like we gotta make with the expanding, because like this is just not conducive to running a business. I had 17 daggers stolen last month.
Fuck. I'm telling you to keep both. Have both.
Yeah, but I gotta go hire people.
Yeah.
And you're my partner.
Yeah.
Hiring people costs money.
Yeah. So I was gonna reduce the price, but we're gonna do cool shit. And
yeah. You get it.
Yeah. But you have to understand, when I work with you, no one must know that I'm involved.
Right.
But you have to be responsible of that.
Right, but you can still be a silent patron, but the main thing about a patron, it's their patronage.
I didn't get that.
Patronage, money.
Yeah.
Patronage usually means to support, politically, and that usually involves a degree of economic support as well.
Yeah. When we work, I have to be in the forge with you because I'm the one who does the magic.
Oh yeah. We don't even use my regular apprentices when you're working with me.
Yeah, that's it. And I can't be seen working with you and doing my magic ever. So you have to go through the maze and the puzzle, and not having your regular apprentices is wonderful. That's a good idea. So yeah, let's just find a way so when we do our special stuff, we'll do it like that.
Yeah.
Cool. And
wait, you mean when we do our special stuff in the forge, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not talking about that other thing.
The beer?
Yeah. The sleepovers.
Yeah, I don't judge, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So when I come back from Caledonia, I probably will have a few trinkets that are worth making some special weapons, and I will also have maybe some daggers or special swords done if I keep hiring the cell swords that I found yesterday. I might want to equip them better and see if their loyalty will transcend payment so that we can be all together in that. But anyway, we'll see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
All right, so let's say that we're done, and that my guy just sets off.
Right.
And
Yeah. Sorry about that little flashback. I just wanted to get that.
oh, we have to do it because making an agreement. If we were going to making the agreement, Roland would have told me, and I would have told him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have to be incognito. My goal is not to be known. That's why I live in the other little village of Castra, because I don't want to be known.
Right.
That's important.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So next step.
The next step will be the actual journey itself. However, as I would like to take this next week to, get set up for any possible encounters and all of that, we are going to close the curtains on this session of Shadows of the Past, and we will find out what adventures and dangers await Heinrich and his two new companions as they travel out of Carpathia into Caledonia. I want to thank you for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.